President Trump did not hold back when talking about Representative Ilhan Omar.
Congresswoman Omar is an America-hating socialist. She minimized the September 11th attack on our homeland, where far more than 3,000 people died, saying some people did something. Big deal. Some people did something. She pleaded for compassion for ISIS recruits right here in Minnesota. Omar laughed that Americans speak of Al-Qaeda. You remember that tape? Speak of Al-Qaeda. But when we say something about the United States, you just don't say America with any intensity. Remember that? Representative Omar has a history of launching virulent anti-Semitic screeds, whether you like it or not. She said the U.S. support for Israel is all about the Benjamins. She said that pro-Israel lawmakers have an allegiance to a foreign country. Omar wrote that Israel has hypnotized the world. May Allah awaken the people and help them to see the evil doings of Israel and the United States. How do you have such a person representing you in Minnesota? I'm very angry at you people right now.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
All right, so here's the gist of the clip. Trump goes after Omar hard, like unfiltered, classic rally stage Trump. He calls her an America-hating socialist, brings up her infamous "some people did something" comment about 9/11, and basically argues that she downplayed one of the worst tragedies in American history. Now, whether you agree with Trump's style or think he goes over the top sometimes, you can't deny this. He taps into something a lot of ordinary Americans already feel but don't say out loud. There's been this long-growing frustration, especially among people who came from nothing, worked their whole lives, love this country, and then they hear elected officials talk about America like it's the villain of every story. That rubs people the wrong way, and Trump has always understood that. Let's be honest here, Ilhan Omar isn't exactly controversy-proof. Her track record has some pretty wild statements. Trump brings up the Al-Qaeda interview where she talked about extremist groups with more intensity than she used talking about America. He reminds people of her all about the Benjamin's tweet, the stuff about Israel hypnotizing the world, and her comments suggesting U.S. lawmakers are loyal to a foreign country. Look, you don't have to be a political scientist to realize those weren't great moments. Even Democrats had to distance themselves for a while, and every time this comes up, it reignites the same debate. At what point does criticism cross into something darker, something that feels unpatriotic, or at the very least, something that signals you don't really appreciate the country that gave you a platform in the first place? That's the heart of what Trump is tapping into. It's not just about Omar, it's about what people perceive as a growing disdain for America coming from within its own government. Let's zoom out for a second because this is bigger than one clip or one representative. There's a cultural battle happening. Is America fundamentally good but flawed, or fundamentally flawed and barely good? One worldview says we've been blessed, let's work to improve things but also appreciate what we have. The other says everything is broken, everything is unjust, and the system is basically rigged or evil. Trump's comments, for all their sharpness, come from a place of defending the former worldview. Omar, intentionally or not, often sounds like the latter. And here's the thing. You cannot run a country where the people in power don't even like the country they're running. You just can't. That's not even political, that's basic common sense. America is at a crossroads, and the question is, do we agree on every policy? That's normal political debate. The real question is, do we still agree that America is worth defending, worth appreciating, and worth preserving? If we disagree on that, nothing else matters. Borders don't matter, laws don't matter, elections don't matter. You cannot maintain a nation if half the people in charge think the nation is the problem. You don't have to like Trump's tone to see the underlying point. Gratitude builds countries, bitterness destroys them. A country can handle disagreement. It cannot handle people who despise its foundational values while benefiting from them. So this whole Trump-Omar clash, it's a symptom of something much bigger, and it's a conversation we need to have honestly without pretending everything's fine or acting like criticism of America is somehow the same as patriotism. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, agree or disagree, and subscribe for more real talk without the sugar coating. This conversation matters and your voice matters in it. I'll see you in the next one.